You're listening to A Midlife Less Ordinary, the weekly podcast giving you the lowdown on becoming a cool older dude. The good times are not a faded memory. It's time to start living them again. And here are your hosts, Wayne and Trev.
Hello again, and welcome to another Midlife Less Ordinary. My name's Wayne, and as usual, Trev's here to say hello. How's your week been, mate?
Yeah, good. I'm primed, I'm loaded, and I'm ready for a little bit of chitty chatty.
Okie dokie, thanks very much for that. And I'm so glad to hear you're primed and ready to pop, as they say.
I'm always ready to pop.
Yeah, let's not go there.
I'll go before we go anywhere. Talking of pop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like things that pop in my mouth.
Okay. Not like Rice Krispies, you mean? Or are you talking about?
No, like grapes.
Oh, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Oh, fish eyes or something.
Skin things.
Yeah.
Things that...
Not that you'd eat fish eyes, but...
And then you get skin, like, that's off. Skin evil, mate.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah, I don't know where that's come from. This is...
Why do they take... I'll tell you what, then. You're a man of a limited knowledge.
Condensed milk, this reminds me of.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Why do they take grapes in to people that are in hospital? Why was that?
I don't know.
Is it worth Googling?
It's the sort of joke you take to somebody who's got hemorrhoids, wouldn't it? It's your grapes.
I know a man, right? I've got a very quick story about hemorrhoids.
Go on.
And the guy that I'm talking about actually listens to this now and again. So if he was coming on for an interview, we'd like digitize his voice. He'd be like, we're out, you know. But he went to get his piles. Can we call them piles?
Yes, you can. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. He went to get his piles sorted. And he sat in the room. They called him in and he said, we'll just wait for your doctor to come and, snip them off or whatever they do. I don't actually know what they do. Do they
shrink them? I don't know. It's not good, whatever they
do. Anyway, the person said, I'll get up on the table on all fours. And so he just stood, he got up on all fours. He was just standing there. He said, we'll be along, won't be a minute. And the doctor came in, didn't even introduce himself, just lifted his nightgown thing, fiddled about, sorted it out. And he was like, oh, great. Yeah, that's great.
You sure that was an operation and not just
this is it.
Some kind of sexual
The cleaner could have done it.
Abuse.
The cleaner could have come in and thought, I've seen this happen, done so many times. I want to have a go at this. And just did it. So he doesn't know. Because when he told me about it, I said, the bloke didn't introduce himself. He said, no. He said, he just said, hello, and started fiddling. And I was like, anybody could have done that. I said, the cleaner could have just walked in and thought, I'll do this.
Well, maybe we should get this chap on and we should ask him how it turned out. Can he sit down?
The thing is, it did cure him. So
there you go.
Did a good job.
Just put a nightgown on, spread your legs, and away you go. Yeah. Chop them out.
Do you reckon it was Michael? Do you reckon it was Robert De Niro at Heat? You know when he puts when he goes to the hotel and pretends he's a doctor.
You're as out here as ever. You really are.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're fine. But I just wanted to give a few shout outs this week, Trev, because we keep asking for some feedback because of the new format and everything, and we hadn't heard anything. And then all of a sudden they all come at once. It's like the bus. Not that I get the bus. I don't know if they come at all, but But yeah, there's a few so I want to shout out. So we got friend of the show, Sean Allison, from the Sabitio episode.
Seamus
Thanks very much for the feedback, Sean. You've been listening to the new format in the gym, and you said it accompanies a gym session. So there you go. That's a big plus there, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I liked about his little review.
Yes.
He christened a new phrase, a new word.
Well, he's just worked you out. Yeah. He's worked you out. Yeah. It
Trevisms.
fits. Yeah.
Do you think we should have a little segment?
Trevisms of the week. Yeah, I think we basically, we could do that. Sum it up, definitely. So thanks for that, Sean.
We're dedicated to Sean. That's very nice.
And also wanted to say thank you to Mama Fletch, who makes exceedingly good cakes, nearly as good as Mr. Kippers, I believe. But I didn't want to mention his proper name. Actually, they're not very great, are they? I mean, but Mama Fletch's cakes are like designs of beauty, aren't they? Works of art.
We had some sent, didn't we?
Well, yeah, I never got to eat any, did I?
No, I did.
Yeah, I know, I could tell. Thanks for that, Trev. Thanks, Mama Fletch.
Yeah, that's right.
But thanks for the kind words. And I've had to change your review to a bit more woke because I don't want to offend anyone, but basically she said, like in the new, egg woke, Trev,
egg
not
woke.
yolk.
Egg woke.
But basically she said the new format is enjoying it, and it's akin to listening to a conversation out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'll leave that to the imagination.
I think I get it.
You get it. And finally, we say thank you very much for the feedback to Neil Hendy, who also said he's enjoying the new format. So there you go. Lots of feedback. So it means you're doing something right. It is. Because it makes it worthwhile, because otherwise you're just shooting in the dark.
Right.
But yeah, it's...
well, I thought we were saying else. Is that when you got like a really ugly missus?
Oh, I knew this was going somewhere bad. I think it's just time for the... that's what you said last week. Yeah, hopefully this week. I don't say the same thing this week because we mustn't repeat ourselves. Because it's time. Cool. It's the time of the week for the AMLO Weekly Wipe. And I'm just glad you didn't fit in the word bum between it this time. You've done that already, that joke. It's quite funny, though. But I just wanted to mention again, because, you know, they're good value for money. Insulate Britain have been getting a tough deal around the M20. Well, not around the M25. I think they're more around the sort of Blackwall Tunnel area now. They've been gluing their hands to the road, and they were getting manhandled by some frustrated people. I mean, people just had enough. They'd run out of fuel. And now they're getting held up. There's a lady that was in a Mercedes who wanted to see her mum in hospital, and she's pleading with these two. They were about 90 years old, Insulate Britain protesters, and she was saying, "Please let me pass. I need to go and see my sick mother." And people are losing sympathy for the cause, and we can all understand the cause, can't we?
Have they expanded? Have people?
What, the expanded filofoam that we need for the insulation? Oh, you're not talking technical. No, you mean more of them.
Insulate Brian, have they expanded?
Insulate Brian. There's a lot of, you know, as I say, I don't think they've expanded. They seem to be the same people when I see them on the TV. But
the funny thing is, did you just say they're gluing their hands to the road?
Yeah, they are. They're super glued their hands to the road.
It doesn't work though, does it?
It's not something I'm going to try, Trev, so I'm not really going to, but unless you can do some recommendations.
In a weird kind of way, I have got my fingers stuck together, you know, because you always do that when you use super glue, don't you?
Yeah, super glue.
Always.
Yeah.
Like
super
you think,
glue.
oh, really?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And then you're quite fun separating them. It's not fun, it hurts.
God.
Yeah,
no, it does.
And you're not sure if it's skin or super glue that you're picking, is it? Yeah, I get it. But you know, they're losing sympathy.
Who sticks their hands to there? Who sticks them? Do they?
I don't know if they can. Yeah, because they can't do it unless they're holding it in their mouth and sort of can talk themselves.
Yeah, so there must be an official gluer.
I'm the gluer for Insulate Britain. That's a job and a half, isn't it?
That is,
Insulate Brian, I like that. But also, it's the Tory conference this week. I know you're interested in that.
Very much so.
There's rising prices, the fuel crisis, there's inflation on the horizon. That's not your airbed, Trev, before I say that. I mean, just everything's going up in price. And they say interest rates are going to have to go up. If you've got savings, you might be happy with that. And if you've got a mortgage, you won't be happy with that. But basically, Johnson said he's not worried. Basically, he won't be, will he? Because he's got millions. He's not worried.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not affecting him, is it?
No, it doesn't affect him.
Worried.
Well, he's just going to roll out probably his Billy Smart circus tribute or something. You know what I mean? But it's just.
Have you been to a circus?
I have. I went to one last year. Not last year, the year before.
Really?
Yeah, there's one that comes to my locality. Yeah.
Oh, really? Is it good?
Yeah, to be fair, went. I don't know why, but yeah, I went to it. They did all that. Yeah, they were there. It was a French. Actually, I'll give them a shout out. It's called Santa's Circus. I don't know where they are. And I don't know where they are at the moment. They haven't come this year, but it was quite entertaining. They'd done all the dangerous stuff, and they toured the UK. Yeah,
Rings of Fire.
Johnny Cash.
Yes, I've seen you with a Ring of Fire.
Yeah, you want to throw me on a Ring of Fire.
No, I've seen you. Well, I would have thought you had a Ring of Fire because I actually went on a stag night and you tried a chicken fowl, didn't you?
I was showing off.
What were you doing? What were you doing?
I don't know why. I think it was in our 20s then, wasn't we? I think I discovered everything late, and I just had to I had this peacock type of attitude where I just went, all that's gone. Because if I go anywhere near anything other than a dress. Oh, it was. It just honestly, I'm in pain. I can't eat that kind of food. Yeah, I did. But in them days, I could handle it. I mean, we used to go for a curry, didn't we, Trev? And
we did. I think a curry. Now
there's nothing there that we can take down without struggling afterwards. But
no, I'm a very mild guy.
You are actually, yeah.
I am very mild guy.
You like your chicken chat? I don't mean talking about chicken.
Chicken chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like a chicken chat. You're right.
He likes talking about chicken.
Chicken chat.
Big time.
Yeah. But yeah. I actually had quite a bad experience in a curry house. A guy I used to knock about with who was an absolute psycho in a good way.
Yeah.
He, some of the pranks he did, once we were coming home from a gig down Southend Seafront, he jumped in a bin. One of metal bins, the big kind of things. He let us push him out into the water and we threw stones at him. How cool is that?
Wow.
But anyway, this guy once, we were sitting in a curry house and I think one night we actually had a curry with Arthur Brown.
Wow.
Fire.
Yeah.
We just watched him play at a local pub and he was sitting there on his own. And we asked him, I said, come over, and he come and sat with us.
You've got so many of these kind of anecdotes to do with curry houses and meeting famous people.
So, yeah, exactly. It's good, isn't it?
It is good.
And then, but I wear glasses, not all the time, but I had them on that time for some reason. And I put them on the table and he was always playing pranks with me, always. I think he buried my shoes or something once on a beach. Nice. I took them off. Yeah, he did. And then he wrote in massive letters just under where we were staying, the girl I was going out with was a pig dog.
Nice. Schweinhund, you mean, like German.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this night, I left my glasses on the table, and the chili pickles you get, you get the onion dip, you get the mint sauce, you get, what's the other one?
Yeah, with your poppadoms.
With your poppadoms.
Yeah, your chutney
I left my glasses,
and all that, yeah.
Yeah. He put the red hot chutney stuff all around the inside of my glasses.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. That's not
honestly,
funny.
Man. It wasn't funny. Yeah. I put them back on and it was awful.
You look like a Cylon out of Battlestar Galactica.
That's not good. Honestly, man, it was painful as hell.
God, I can imagine.
Yeah, it really was. It was like...
You'd rather have it on the tip of your Johnson than on that, wouldn't you? Christ almighty.
Tip of your Michael.
And he got such a great voice. I don't know, because you've said Michael Johnson, obviously. He's got a great voice. He could do Morgan Freeman. He could do that voice.
He's the new Morgan Freeman. The new voice of God. Yeah.
So when he actually pegs his and stops doing films about along coming spiders, he can, and Michael Johnson can take over.
He can take over. Ready-made replacement. But one word of advice, in any way you eat, wherever you eat, do not take the mickey out of the service people, the waiters, or the food.
We always say this, don't we?
You get your food, because that is a
You're an idiot. If you don't like the food, just leave and never come back.
Yeah.
And if you've wasted 50 quid, just accept it, because you're not going to have a good experience if you start criticising.
I went and I had a curry once, and we got on really well with the people that owned it. They were lovely people. And there was a rugby team there, and they were absolutely caning the guys that worked there. Yeah, I won't say anything because a lot of it was horrible, like racist stuff. Oh, God, and the guy come over, the waiter, and he was a lovely fella. I think he played Sunday football with us sometimes. And I said to him, how that? He said, don't worry. He said, we know how to sort this. And I was like, I bet you do, mate. I bet you do. Don't like it. But they deserved it, man, honestly. But yeah, never complain about it, because you just never know, do you?
No.
I must admit, I've been a bad lad with that kind of style back in the day.
Yes. You used to go out the back and wipe your Johnson on a tile or something and then bring it out and serve it.
No, this was way back. When I was doing my A-levels, I worked at a cinema part-time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
And I worked up from ripping the tickets. I used to I wore a little maroon jacket, a bow tie. I was an usher. And I used to rip the tickets and put them on like a spike on a bit of string. I did that. And then I was so good at that a little vacancy appeared in the kiosk. I never took the tray down the front. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Never did that. If I was late, they did threaten me with that. They were like, "You're going to do that." I'll do that. That cured it all. That cured it all, mate. I was no way selling choc ices down the front. No way. But I went in the kiosk and, honest, because I had long hair then, I tied it back, and I had got quite a bit of grief from guys trying to show off in front of their girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah.
Mistake, mate. Mistake they made, mate. They thought they were well clever. Honestly, I've never rolled so many hot dogs around on the floor ever. Honestly. And the best thing was, and if they really, really give it, what I'd do, I'd just, hold on, sorry, mate, the Diet Coke or Coke's just, I've got to change the box because they used to be in boxes.
Yes.
So I would just like,
oh, man. Oh, at least you're giving people the truth. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I tell you, the best thing was they'd always sup at it. They'd straw it out, they'd go, and then go, and they'd go.
I'm going to throw, honestly, man.
They'd go,
going.
Oh, it's a bit. I said that happens at the start of the bottle.
Oh, honestly, I'm going. This is not good. I can't deal with this.
They would. They'd say like, "Oh, the start of the bottle." I said, "It's always a bit."
It's good job the ABC's not there anymore, isn't it? Christ, you'd be arrested for this. Christ almighty. Probably somebody's got meningitis. They've been suffering their whole life because of you. Oh, that's terrible, man.
My greedy bobbing about in their Diet Coke.
But we're going to put this down to education. Forewarned is forearmed, as they say.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So thanks for that, Trev. I think we've gone off the news, but we. I mean, that's good advice. But I just wanted to basically. This week, I interviewed a charming young man from Ireland who's putting out his first single, which is called King of the Strings. His name's Jordan Dennis. I missed
this, didn't I? I was
gutted, and Jordan was gutted. But we soldiered on.
I was gutted because he's my kind of thing.
It is exactly that. I told Jordan this.
Like his kind of thing, you know.
You do, but I'm going to play it to you now. I'm going to play the interview. We got a short interview with Jordan talking about his influences and everything, and listen to the song and support live music. This is what we're all about.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
So Jordan, thank you for joining me today. We haven't got Trev today for this interview, which is a shame, but you've got exciting news. Your King of the Strings, your new EP, is been released.
Hey Wayne, thanks very much for having us this evening on your podcast. So my debut single, King of the Strings, came out there on Friday the 24th of September, and it's going to be the first. So I was in between two minds whether to release an EP or to release, singles. So what I decided to do was I decided to release an EP, but release it, in stages as singles. So like the first single, King of the Strings, is the one that came and dropped on Spotify there and all streaming platforms on Friday, just gone a week tomorrow. And then the second single I'm working on at the minute, and the third, which will be out then at the tail end of this year and then early 2022.
And how would you describe your music, Jordan? If somebody obviously hasn't heard King of the Strings yet, how would you describe yourself and your music?
How would I describe it? Let me think now. I've been asked that question a good few times.
You should be practiced in it now.
Yeah, and the way I kind of think about it, I suppose, just like, having been asked so many times. I'd say like hard rock, new blues, country rock sounds cast against neo-Western themes.
Yes, it definitely comes across. And who are your influences, Jordan? You know, who do you listen to?
I listen to. Well, I suppose starting off, I started playing the guitar when I was 6. So at that time, I remember the very first tape cassette I ever bought was the the Teletubbies.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like back in '97 or something. Teletubbies, and then I bought that South Park chocolate salty.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can say it on the podcast.
No, you can say that. You can say it. We're adult. You're fine. I know chocolate salty balls. I think you're referring to, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I had those two, and I used to play. We used to take them on the school bus. The bus driver, you could take a tape with you, and every day she let one kid, play their tape, and you'd listen on the way to school. And my father took me to see a film, and there was a song in the film, and it was a song. It was a P Diddy or Puff Daddy song, "Come With Me," but it was a Led Zeppelin song that had been sampled.
Yes.
And so, to add to my collection, my father bought me the tape cassette of this P Diddy song, and I was getting really into it, but it was the guitar, it was the sound that I was really attracted to. And then my uncle ended then. He was in the house one day, and he heard me listen to this, and he says to me, that's a sample. I didn't know what a sample was at the time, but he says, yeah, that's Kashmir by a band called Led Zeppelin. And I'd never heard of Led Zeppelin or Kashmir, and he gave me a lend then of a Led Zeppelin CD, Led Zeppelin Latter Days, and it had everything from Houses of the Holy right through to Into the Outdoor. It was like a compilation album, and it just blew my mind. And I couldn't believe. I remember he used to play it on the in the back of the car. He used to play it on the Walkman, and I couldn't you had the picture of the 4 lads. I think they were standing out in a field in Nebworth or something. But you had the picture of 4 lads. And you had all these different sounds, and each song, like the texture of the guitar sounded so different. And I couldn't believe that these were 4 people with instruments making these sounds.
Sure.
Just, it was kind of like a level of, mystique there to it. And that got me into the guitar. And my parents sent me around to a friend of my father's, Mick Gary, and that's when I started guitar lessons. And then 2 or 3 years later, then I started to I started to read tablature and teach myself, and you know how it is.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's kind of started my journey off. So I'd have to say Led Zeppelin would have been
the main influence on you.
The main influence, yeah.
But you've got this heavy blues sound, you really have, and it really comes across in the influences of Rory Gallagher. You can hear Lizzie in there, some of the big bluesy rock bands that have ever been around. That sound, that deep bass.
Well, I love that, as you're saying, that sound. Like Rory, I think, one thing I love about Rory's sound is how raw it is. I mean, it's just him, it's just Rory, it's his guitar and his amplifier. And that is it, you know what I mean? I think, growing up, as a kid playing guitar up to, I'm 30 now playing guitar, it's always just been myself, the guitar and an amp. I've never really been too interested or messed around with effects pedals too much.
No. And
that's something now that I try to stay true to. And for this record, King of the Strings, when I was speaking to the engineer, James Dark, and the mixing engineer, we talked about it, and it was definitely the possibility was there to throw on different, effects, to add different colours and try different things. But I really just wanted to capture that raw sound, and I think I'm quite happy with it.
I think you've captured that, definitely.
I think so, yeah.
I think people will be able to hear for themselves, obviously. But will you be releasing diverse tracks, or will it mostly be sticking to that sound, Jordan?
No, they're going to be I suppose, each to their own, I suppose. I mean, it'll be each song there'll be a common theme there, I suppose, with the sound. In that it'll be my sound, whatever that kind of morphs into through time. I can't really say yet, But yeah, as I says, then like these first 3 singles that I'll be releasing, King of the Strings, and then the next 2, they'll definitely be, they'll have a lot of similarities between them.
Sure.
Whether or not after that I decide to maybe release something a bit different or not, I don't know yet.
That's what people will. People will hear King of the Strings and they'll associate you with that sound, and then obviously, like we all do, when you hear something, you don't want to be disappointed by hearing something too diverse, do you? You want to feel that theme running through the music. So I think you're. But then, right. As you say there, like you listen to a band like we just mentioned there, like Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Like
talk about diverse sounds. Like they have like a whole lot of love down to their acoustic stuff, material, and then their later stuff as well. It's there's people who, and then they've bands like AC/DC where people just they love kind of that sound that they're known for.
Of course. And what's it been like? Because obviously we're allowed out now, Jordan, and you've been playing King of the Strings to live audiences. How's that been?
Yeah, that's been fantastic. It's been really, really great. It's I did my before the whole pandemic. I did my last gig in February 2020.
Wow!
And I had a lot of. I just moved. So I'm originally from Dublin, but I'd moved up to my fiance's from Castleblaney, and so we moved up here to Castleblaney, and
beautiful.
It was going well. I had a lot of gigs lined up, and then of course the pandemic hit, and that was the end. That was the end of the gig, and there was no live music. And then I did my first gig in August of this year, when the Irish government opened up, venues again, or to some capacity, and it was just I felt like I have a new found appreciation for it.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic.
And the audiences really seem to enjoy. I mean, they always have, but the live music at the moment, people seem more receptive than ever. So I think it's a great time to be playing King of the Strings to the live audiences.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a big part for me. Like, the crowd is a very big part of the show for me. Not so much about myself being there to play and for people to observe, but I very much like. The crowd interaction and getting involved with the crowd, and because it's like it's like jazz. Every night's different,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, every venue, every sound, sound different, smell different, acoustics are different, the crowd are different. Everything's and that's part of the experience for you guys. Where's the best place for people to find out more about you, Jordan, or download the track? Have you got a website?
Yeah, I have a website, kingofthestrings.ie, though I suppose I tend to be on my main kind of like HQ that I work from would be Instagram.
Sure.
If people want to hear the track, then it is available on all major streaming platforms, but Spotify I'd suggest would be the one to go to.
Yeah. You've heard some of Jordan's track. Please support live music. We're always big supporters of live music on A Midlife Less Ordinary. Jordan's now playing to live venues. Where are you playing in Ireland forthcoming, Jordan?
Well, starting off now, as I says, the Irish government it's only since August now really they've allowed live music to kind of have a comeback. So venues are opening up, not to a full capacity, but to a 60% capacity. So
yeah,
I'm really kind of like taking it where I can get it. So I've started off local enough now in Castleblaney with a couple of the bars. And Castleblaney itself now, it's very well known for its musical heritage, and it's kind of its love of music. So a lot of the bars here, they are fantastic music venues in themselves. So it's been really nice. I've been very fortunate in that way. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we will certainly hope to catch up. Hopefully, you'll be coming to the UK anytime soon.
Absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely.
And you can put Trev and me down on the guest list for sure.
100%.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Jordan.
Thanks very much for having me, Wayne.
And we look forward to hearing more from you very soon.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, Trev. Jordan's a good. Good
tell
chap.
you what, mate, I was gutted I missed that interview. Absolutely gutted.
Right up our street, isn't it?
Right up mine, to be honest. That my favourite band are Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
And my favourite blues guitarist is Rory Gallagher. I love Rory Gallagher. Listening to his stuff, it is really up my street. The guy can play. He's a mean guitarist.
Yeah.
I love that when, like, a bit like Joe Bonamassa, when these guys have been playing since the age of 6 and they just still learning and still riffing it out, banging all these. Love it. You can hear he plays a Les Paul. He's got like a rich kind of.
See, this is what I needed you for, Trev, to recognise.
Yeah, like he's got. You can hear the tone that he uses. He's got a kind of Jimmy Page, Gary Moore, sound. And like obviously Lizzie only used Les Pauls. Phil Lynott didn't actually let Scott Gore and Brian Robertson and Gary Moore use anything else because he just loved the sound of a Les Paul. You can hear that. And to be honest, with him being Irish as well, as much as he embraces the sort of Thin Lizzy and Rory Gallagher influences, playing hard rock and playing that kind, you're going to get put with those guys because they were the masters, the Irish masters of hard rock. But yeah, he seemed like a lovely fella. So I will catch up with him.
I said to Jordan afterwards when we had a quick chat, said that, like, come on, and when he releases his other tracks off the EP, come on and release them on there. We'll be happy to.
I was really, because he seems like a lovely guy, very talented. It's a great single.
I said to Jordan, really Trev's the main music man. He'll know it. He'll know how to direct your influences and everything. But still, but you know, he'll be back. And to say, download the track on Spotify. I think Jordan said is the best place to get it.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over that. I really am. It's right on my street.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, cool.
And I think now, Trev, it's time for you're going to surprise me this week, apparently. But I think now it's time. Yeah. I like that because I don't know what's coming. But basically, we're going to go for the stream of the week. So don't cross the streams, Trev. So do you want to kick off or do you want me to kick off or do you want to save it?
Yeah, okay. No, I'll kick off for a change.
Go on then.
I've watched something old. Well, I didn't watch all of it, but I haven't, and I've watched something. I'll explain. I haven't really watched anything new this week. I don't know why.
Doesn't have to be new, just say it on there.
Yeah, I flicked over and I watched the last night, Heath Ledger?
Oh, the one with the Queen music.
Mm-hmm.
Knight's Tale.
Is it Knight's Tale?
It was the one with the
modern.
Yeah, Queen music in it, used in it.
Don't remember that. I know Paul Bettany was in it with not a lot of clothes on all the time, just had his arse out in it, which was bizarre.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if you watched this film and you wouldn't know there's Queen music in it. The whole thing was scored by. Did you have the sound turned down?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I saw it at the cinema and it was proper shit then. And I just wanted to watch it again to see if it was proper shit now.
And what did you think?
And it's not just proper shit, it's like a big bucket of shit. It's awful, isn't it? It's just
Am I getting confused between the films? Is it
the one
he does jousting, doesn't he?
That's the one. It's so bad that at one point I couldn't watch it to this point. It's a shame because I wanted to.
Is it supposed to be recommendations? I mean, you're not exactly recommending. I suppose you can avoid this stream. Yeah,
stopping people watching it.
Stop the stream.
Recommended. Yeah, exactly. Recommended not to watch.
I think we've not got the concept right of this yet. We still get teething problems.
Is it right that in that film he actually has a Nike tick on his armour at one point?
I seem to remember something like that. Yeah,
because I thought I might have been hallucinating from like
product placement.
Flashback.
Yeah,
exactly. I was just like, no, this is just.
I thought it was not far off his performance of as the Joker.
I'm glad you mentioned the Joker because, and I want people to like call in or whatever and give me a hard time.
They'll do that anyway.
That great. Yeah, was
it what you're saying is the controversial Trev is coming out and saying,
yeah, was he as
good as all that, or was it because he passed away untimely?
Don't get me wrong, he was good, but he wasn't Jack Nicholson, was he? Let's be honest here.
Jack Nicholson's still alive, so you've still got a chance of getting him on the show. So yeah, Jack Nicholson, you're great. No, but
that's the thing. Don't get me wrong, it was good. The licky was good.
Yeah,
and I like the bit where he walked.
Is that the right film? We're thinking of something else.
Yeah, that might have been Wank Man. But to be honest, that when he was dressed up as the nurse and he walked out of the hospital and he exploded, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Really, was he the best Joker ever? Not in my opinion, but you might prove me wrong.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm going to stay away from the controversy because these are Trevisms and I want that to be preserved. No, thanks for not recommending A Knight's Tale. Then thanks, Trev. But I've watched a few things this week, but I've chosen two things, and I've been diverse. I've actually subscribed to both channels this week, so I know.
Money spending.
I'm not going anywhere, so it's fine. I saved money. So my first one is on Netflix. It's a new movie. It's called The Guilty, and it's basically the plot is a troubled police detective demoted to a 911 operator on duty scrambles to save a distressed caller during a harrowing day of revelations and reckonings. And it's an Antoine Fuqua, as I don't know, he's trying to say that. Man. Yeah, I do. I like his films.
Jake Gyllenhaal film?
Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal is the main actor in it.
I've seen it on there. I haven't seen it yet.
I think the voices are Ethan Hawke and a few other famous people, but it's basically very much like Phone Booth with Colin Farrell from years ago, and also the film with, I can't remember.
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, yeah, when he's driving home the Welsh. Yeah, so it's all about the tension building on the phone and the conversations. Yeah, cool. But basically, a lady phones up in distress, and he starts anticipating what's happening to her, and he's trying to get on top of it. He's got his own demons going on in his head. I won't give away too much. I'd say
got my own demons going on when I'm doing this. Got my own demons. Yeah.
But I'd give it a 7 out of 10 and worth a watch.
I'm going to look at that.
Worth a watch. Yeah. What about your next one, mate?
My surprise.
Your surprise.
I watched Strictly Come Dancing Saturday night.
Oh, what? No way.
Yeah, I might have been a little pissed, I'll admit. But at one point, I was enjoying it. Yeah, and I actually shattered at the TV with the mic.
Shattered or shouted?
Shouted.
Oh.
I went, fuck! You can imagine what it was.
Who was dancing at this time?
Oh, I can't remember. I didn't really take in who was on it. To be the thing I took mainly from it is, I told you to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. For a start, it's not a stream. You're bloody, unless you watched it on iPlayer.
Sorry.
You're ruining this whole format.
I know.
They're going to take back all them nice comments now.
Yeah. I did. And I tell you what, I couldn't make out what, like, the band at the back were doing, kind of what they were like singing about.
Oh yeah, they're quite good though.
They are quite good, but they put a different spin on some of the numbers.
Yeah.
And
Dave Spike Band or something, isn't it? Or something.
Oh, well done. So you've seen it.
No, I don't know. Dave Spike's from something else, but I mean, it's something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah. But yeah, what you said about.
Are you going to be a regular watcher? I don't watch Coronation Street regularly, by the way.
But you said that. I know that. But you said it pulled you in.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So I've never seen you say anything like this.
No,
you don't watch any reality TV. You don't watch anything.
It pulled me in a little bit. A bit like, trying to think what else has done it. Honestly, I was sitting there and I was like, what? It's like I'd stepped out myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I tell you what, bizarre. It pulls me in like watching the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Which I like doing that, bizarrely.
I suppose if you've never seen anything like that, which you haven't.
Which is it?
You might be, if you're sitting there watching it, it would be a surprise and it would get, you might get pulled into it. Yeah. I mean, it's very bizarre. It's almost worth you dropping it into the wrong section of the podcast to talk. No, it's fine because it's so bizarre. I know it is shocking. I thought you was going to come out with some film like Tootsie or something and you quite enjoyed it and fancied dressing up as a woman. I don't know, but that's what I thought.
To be honest, some of the gowns on, I did think about.
Yeah, exactly. You look good. You look good.
All right. I got legs, man. I got legs.
You got good legs. You're mad. Why are we doing like a? Why does it have to be? I don't know either.
No, I don't know.
But straight on to my next before we get in trouble. The next one's on Prime, my other subscription, so I've made the most of both. Yeah. And I'll get some free deliveries as well chucked in.
Nice.
I know, getting money's worth. And it's a film called Infinite, and this one's got Mark Wahlberg in it. And basically,
big fan of Mark Wahlberg.
I am as well. Again, he's our age again. He's sort of like kind of
not the greatest actor.
No, he isn't. And there's some parts of this film where you can see that, to be fair. But I don't care. I don't care. I mean, it's, again, a solid film. Haunted by memories of places he's never visited, a man joins forces with a group of reborn warriors to stop a madman from destroying the endless cycle of life and reincarnation. Basically, he's a bloke who doesn't realise he's got skills like he can fold a samurai sword 70 times, not literally like a phone book. I mean, like, you know, the steel. What, you've seen this?
I think I have, yeah.
What?
No, you said that.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
You would know if you've seen it.
Well, you know what I'm.
But there's other films like it. But he's got all these skills, and basically it's because he's one of these line of people that keep getting reincarnated, and they can remember certain facets of their previous. You've seen it.
Yeah.
You're just ruining my whole format.
Yeah, sorry. It's pretty bad, isn't it? You're going to say it's all right?
No, I was going to say it's a 6 out of 10 because I'm not having it. Look, people don't judge like you do, Trev. There's people that like to just watch films. If you like Assassin's Creed or crossed with Cloud Atlas. I sat through Cloud Atlas the other day for the second time ever. It's hard work. What is Tom Hanks doing talking in that language that looks like the future after a nuclear? He's going, true truth is true truth. It's just, I was trying to sit there trying to work it out.
That's that making that film and it being so bizarre is what turned that guy into a woman.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, the Wachowskis.
It was so bizarre. He just I
kind of enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong; it's not a bad film, but it's the fabric. I mean, it's very hard work. I had to set aside about 6 hours to get my way through it because you have to keep having a break and having a finger of fudge or something, you know, in between. Yeah. It's just enough.
The strangest thing that I would ever do halfway through a film is think, oh, finger of fudge.
Well, yeah. Thanks for that. You're making out now something totally innocent and childlike into something quite surreal and dark. Thanks for that, Trev. You're just ruining this episode. Thank you. Sorry, but it's a format. But yeah, that's it for the stream of the week. I think we've slagged enough, haven't we? And people are going to be watching Strictly Come Dancing, and
we'll find something that we actually. Well, I quite enjoy Strictly.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a high praise indeed.
There's a recommendation there.
So, Trev, I don't think there's time for any dick this week. What do you think about that?
I'm disappointed because I do get dick withdrawal.
I think
I'm craving.
Well, you've done your best to be a complete dick this week anyway, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I've got that covered, to be honest. What I would like to say, as we've got a new word for this episode,
yes,
it was nicely put forward to us by one of our listeners. Trevisms. If anybody or any listeners would like to message us and say, perhaps Trev should try this for his isms, something a bit different, something a bit, or if they think I've said something like very Trevism, then I'd love to hear from them. I really will. And I'd like a little segment of it, if you could.
Yeah, I'm happy to do anything you want. As long as you stick to the format this time, it's all good.
I will stick to the format.
And I've also made it easier for people to come and leave us a message, because we, you can either leave us a written message at Murder She Wrote, or you can go to and click on the microphone button. But now you could just go to amlopodcast.com/voicemail, and it will go straight to the page where you record a voicemail. So you haven't got
that.
No, I didn't, but it sounds professional, doesn't it?
Very good.
Available for voiceovers.
Yeah.
We've now got on the website, Trev, /voicemail after the website address, and you can go straight to the page where you record a voicemail rather than looking for the little icon that people say, I can't find the icon, I can't find it. Where is it?
No.
So, please, as always, go to the website, amlopodcast.com, leave us a message, leave us a Trevism, whatever, suggestion.
Last word. Last word. Will I get dick next week?
Dick, we might get some dick in next week.
Good. I might get some dick in next week.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Look at the smile on his little face.
I know.
All good. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you on the next one.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a rating and review and visit our website at www.amlopodcast.com to check out all the links and resources in the show notes. Start living them good times. See you next time.